going on, everybody? My name is Northy, and today I am once again coming with a late upload. Thank goodness it's a no upload. I've managed to get myself a review or preview. It's a preview, not a review. I keep messing it up at the round 4 preview here. We are 2 games in, I believe, at the moment, at the time of recording this. 2 games in to the round 4 of the 2022 season. With the, I'm forgetting who it was, but I know Geelong beat Brisbane last night at GMHBA. And we also had, let me check the tips. The tips did not help me, but AFL.com did. And it was Melbourne swamping Port Adelaide, although it wasn't a huge win margin-wise. To stop a team from kicking a goal until late in the 3rd quarter, that's really tough. So definitely a smashing from the Melbourne Football Club there, making it look easy over Port Adelaide, which was really scary. But nonetheless, what a start to the round it has been so far, and hopefully we'll be able to get some decent looks as to what I've gone with for this next round. Now, star powers, we will start with first. And this one's a little scary because obviously don't expect Paddy Cripps to do too bad. Carl Amon had a really good start in round 2, so he could come out and play well again, although he did play against Melbourne, so that sentence is kind of redundant, but nonetheless, I think he got a few disposals, gave us some points, but not all too many that he did in round 2. May have to switch him up soon, but these two I'm really scared about as I'm recording this. It is half-time at North versus Sydney, a game that I thought North were going to get smashed at as it was at the SCG, but they were leading, they've been leading most of the game and have been pretty unlucky, and, you know, the inexperience is showing to be down by 3 points at half-time, so hopefully that'll switch up, but Heaney and Park have been really quiet, so star powers is not looking too good so far, and obviously Noah Anderson is still up for debate. Hopefully I can get Bailey Smith or Luke Jackson as a double at some point, because I really want those guys. The fact that Bailey Smith is a future is just nuts, but this team is what I went with. I was thinking of keeping Darcy Parish, sticking with him, but I went, no, Heaney's been doing way too well. He's coming up against North Melbourne. Surely he'll be able to have a good game, but I'm being proven wrong with both of these guys, unfortunately, right now. So Luke Parker, hopefully you'll be able to switch it up very soon, but Paddy Cripps is going to remain there as long as I can. He just seems to be a favourite at the moment, very early favourite for the Brownlow. Paddy Cripps is just having a nut start to the season, but very little change, very little. It's one that I've used before, except I went back to Heaney and kept Parker because Sydney were playing North Melbourne. Obviously, apparently, I was just being stupid. So, I don't know why North Melbourne decided to pull it out of their head this game, but nonetheless, I'm not terribly mad. I hope North do win it, but my gut tells me that their inexperience and just their poor skill is going to let them down. I mean, again, Jason Horne-Francis remains one of the best players I have seen in a really long time for North Melbourne. I hope he stays around and stays a one-club player, because that dude is electric. So I'm hoping that Jason will remain at the club for years to come, but nonetheless, that's all I've really got for star powers. I don't expect this team to win with the rate it's going at. Carl Amon had an okay game, and these two look really quiet so far, Heaney and Parker. It's really up to these two to see whether they can carry my team, but we'll see what happens. Star powers, though, that is what we've got. Top team. Now, top team's looking a little interesting here. This is Brodie Grundy's fight or flight week, I guess is what you call it. He either fights and keeps his position, or he plays average like he has been so far to start the season, and I switch him out. Paddy Cripps was a no-brainer for me to chuck in there. Shannon Hurn is a really interesting one. He's listed here as a backman. I don't know whether he is actually a backman or not, but he's been getting himself some points, and considering West Coast and how they've been doing so far this season and how they're expected to go, you'd think that their backline is going to be kind of busy, so hopefully Shannon Hurn can do something there. And again, I think it's the same for Bontempelli. It's a fight or flight. He started a little quiet. You can see here 90 points. He got himself 21 disposals and a goal. He's dominant when he gets the ball, but he's not, you know, he doesn't get the ball as often as he was last year, not making an impact as much as he was. So Bontempelli not looking like the greatest pick for the week, but again, fight or flight. These two have their spot on the line, and Shannon Hurn is basically a test. I'm keeping Paddy Cripps for as long as I can. Let's hope this team does something. I'm really hoping it does. I think it's got the potential to do so. They all kind of do, especially Hurn if he gets himself a lot of action in that back line. But all these guys have a job to do, are expected to do well. and hopefully will do well. But we go over to top 18. This is what it's looking like so far once it all decides to load itself in. A few annoying things. Number one, found out last minute that Tom Stewart was not playing, which was really, really annoying. I think there's one other person I'm almost sure that I've missed out on or forgotten to chuck in there. But I'll have a quick look and it'll almost tell me immediately, I feel like. I was lying, I can't tell who it was, but I'm almost certain I was telling myself that I should have switched it up with another person, but we do have Angus Brayshaw in there. Didn't have an all-time performance like he did last week, but nonetheless, he did well. Luke Jackson got himself a fair bit of possessions as well. So having Luke in there was really, really good. I've got Bailey Smith in there because Bailey Smith is a no-brainer for me at the moment. He is just all over the ball. Joe Danaher, he looked pretty all-right, so glad I had him in there. I hate having key forwards as players in this game. And of course, I switched out Tom Hawkins. So it was literally between Joe and Tom, and I don't think it was a bad pick, Joe, but I had Tom in every single week until this week, and of course, the minute I take him out, he kicks 5 goals. It feels really unlucky sometimes. It feels like there's nothing I can do but accept it sometimes. That the minute you take him out, they have that performance that you've been waiting for them to have for ages. But nonetheless, I'm definitely more confident than ever, really, with this forward lineup. Obviously, Joe had a pretty decent game. Luke Jackson also had a decent game. These guys did their thing. Petrarca hasn't been as possession heavy as he was in the grand final and round 1. It just seems to be the Dogs, man. The Melbourne Demons just have the dog number at the moment. It's really strange. But Oliver, I'm pretty sure had a decent game. And Lockie Neal, I think, was over it as well. He was pretty good as well. So it really is up to everyone else. Hopefully this Tom Stewart pick doesn't kill me too much, because like it was very unlucky. I didn't hear anything about it until I started watching the game and heard that he was out. Fingers crossed that he pulls out a decent performance next week, or he comes back, because Tom Stewart is pretty reliable for me most times. Obviously, it was completely down to me being dumb and not like paying attention, but I don't know whether he was late out or not. I may have had no option. I may have just had to use him because they changed him at the last second. But nonetheless, a bit unfortunate. Hopefully everyone else can pick up the slack, and there's more than enough chances for these guys to do so. We've had plenty of weeks where people have really, really poor games, and they act almost as if they were a 0 possession or 0 game time player. So we can win it with 17. We can get a top 10. You can see here we got ourselves 14 last week with a few bad performances. I'm just really hoping we can get ourselves a top 10 at some point. 1400 looks like the goal so far, so hopefully we can bring it over the mark. Obviously, changes to be made here and there. We'll decide eventually. But I like what it's looking like so far. I think, yeah, just the Tom Stewart at the moment. Just the Tom Stewart I'm not liking. So far, though, everything else seems fine. So hopefully it all works out. I don't have the Sydney best and fairest, and I was about to tell myself to switch it up and put them in, because I realized I didn't have the Sydney one. I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. But now I'm not too disappointed with my choice. I'm not too mad. So you know what? It could have been worse. But I will quickly go over tips, which was one thing that I really can't look at now, because you can see here, it's got round 5 here, and then when I check my score to see previous rounds, round 4 is not there. But I know for a fact I did not pick North Melbourne over Sydney. Hopefully Sydney, well, I say that, I do want North to win, but if Sydney goes over the top like they should, I wouldn't be mad either. It'd be more what I expected. I can't remember. I think I picked Geelong because it was GMHBA, but I may have picked Brisbane. I'm not too sure. I picked Melbourne over Port Adelaide. I thought to myself, will Port Adelaide's home advantage make it? And I said, no, I think they've just been playing poorly. So Melbourne was definitely the better pick. But we go over here and check the games. You can see it's halftime. Very, very close. I'm very scared. But Collingwood, I picked Collingwood over the West Coast Eagles. This one I had a surprising amount of fear over, because it's the Dogs. They should probably beat Richmond with the way they're going, but it's at the MCG, and the Richmond Tigers at the MCG is not something to mess around with, man. They're scary. They're very, very tough to beat at the MCG. So I was tempted to pick Richmond, but I stuck with the Dogs. I stuck with them. They have won a premiership with the MCG. Obviously, that was a long time ago now. That's almost 6 years ago, which is crazy to think about. But nonetheless, I did pick the Dogs. I went Fremantle, GWS. I chose Fremantle. It was at WA. GWS have been playing all right as of late, but I still picked Fremantle. I think they are not showing as much as they should be. I think they're a very, very good squad that just hasn't realised it yet. And so I think Fremantle are going to take that one. You'd think so at WA, but who knows. Essendon versus Adelaide. I'm pretty sure I picked, actually, I'm not too sure. I may have picked Adelaide. But a part of me now says Essendon. A real big part of me says Essendon, because Essendon, obviously, they've had a really, really poor start, but they do have talent. A lot of people have been disappointed with the way they've started, but they got to show it eventually, man. It's in Victoria. It's at Marvel. Surely Essendon can pull it out this weekend, if any weekend. Adelaide haven't played as poor as everyone would have expected them to, but Adelaide has been that team that you really don't expect them to do anything, but when they get a win, you're like, oh, cool, they got a win. Which is no offense to Adelaide or Adelaide fans. They had a ripper game against Port Adelaide. I loved that game. But at the moment, for me, it is Essendon. I'm pretty sure. I may have picked Adelaide. We'll find out in the review. But Hawthorn versus St Kilda. I'm sure I picked St Kilda for this one. I think St Kilda, again, like Essendon, are hiding talent, except they are a lot more evident at the moment. I think St Kilda are clicking a little bit better. And obviously Hawthorn are really, really good. But that game against Carlton, they really had to fight hard to come back and still couldn't make it. So although Hawthorn are really a lot better than we all expected this year, I think the Saints can still take it. And then Carlton versus Gold Coast. I picked Carlton because Gold Coast, as much as I want them to win this year, as much as I want to see them make a finals, I want to see them at least once see the gold on the scoreboard when you're watching the TV. I want to see that just once, and Gold Coast's name being there. I just want to see some gold Gold Coast Suns logos. That's all I want. But we'll see what happens. Carlton, though, I expect to win it. It is at Queensland Metricon Stadium, but I'm pretty sure Carlton will take that one. Nonetheless, I did those tips pretty early on in the week, so if we do get 9 out of 9, I'm hoping that we manage to get ourselves a prize card for doing so. Who knows? But nonetheless, really, really happy with how the round has started. Hopefully, we can come back to a prize card screen for the review of this round, but nonetheless, pretty happy with how it started. I hope you guys have been enjoying all the content. I hope you guys have been enjoying all the pack openings. I've got so many to show off to you guys. It's a lot of fun right now. We're in a good part, and hopefully I won't have to be spending too much money sooner or later. But I've got my TLA Traders package for the for the Perth Scorchers. That finally arrived. Excited to show that off to you guys. Probably going to do it tomorrow. So hopefully you guys will be enjoying that video. Just lots to be excited about at the moment. So really, really pumped for content. I'm really pumped for the weekend. I hope we can get some more prize cards. Obviously getting Dusty was awesome. Hopefully I can get Buddy very, very soon. But nonetheless, I appreciate you all for tuning into this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed everything here, and be sure to tune in for the round review to see whether we were successful in anything here today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.